forget to subscribe to our channel for more English story. When people look at me, they assume my life is perfect. I was born into a wealthy and well-known family. My parents own big businesses, and our family name is respected everywhere we go. From the outside, it seems like I have everything: a big house, fancy clothes, and endless opportunities. But what people don't see is the pressure and struggles that come with it. The perfect image. As a child, I didn't understand much about being rich. I only knew that my house was bigger than my friends' houses and that we traveled to exciting places for vacations. People treated my family with respect, and I often heard them say, "You're so lucky to be part of this family." But as I grew older, I realized that being lucky came with expectations. I had to be polite, smart, and successful in everything I did. If I made a mistake, people noticed. It felt like I was living my life in a spotlight, where everyone was watching and waiting to see what I would do next. As I moved through school, the pressure became more intense. People expected me to excel in every subject, to always be at the top of my class. "You're from such a good family," they'd say. "You have all the opportunities, don't waste them." It wasn't just about doing well. It was about being perfect. Anything less felt like a failure, not just for me, but for my family's reputation. Even in my friendships, I sometimes felt out of place. My friends would joke about things I couldn't relate to or hesitate to invite me to simpler gatherings, assuming I wouldn't enjoy them. Some even treated me differently, as if my family's status set me apart. It was lonely at times, like I was living behind an invisible barrier that separated me from the normal experiences of childhood and adolescence. Learning to balance. As I grew older, I started to understand that the expectations placed on me weren't entirely about my family. They were about how others perceived success and privilege. I began to see that I didn't have to meet everyone else's standards. Instead, I could set my own. It wasn't easy. I had to learn how to balance being grateful for the opportunities one had with pursuing what truly mattered to me. I made mistakes along the way, plenty of them, but I started to realize that mistakes didn't define me. They were just part of growing up, finding my own path. I also learned to focus on what made me happy, not just what made others proud. I discovered my passions, like writing and volunteering, and I began to follow them, even if they didn't align with what people expected. Over time, I found that the people who truly cared about me supported my choices, even if they were unconventional. Looking back, I understand now that privilege is a double-edged sword. It comes with opportunities, but also with responsibilities and pressures. What matters most is how you choose to use it, whether to meet others' expectations or to carve out a life that feels meaningful to you. Today, I try to remind myself that I'm not just lucky because of the family I was born into. I'm lucky because I've had the chance to learn, grow, and find my own way, mistakes, spotlight, and all. The pressure to be perfect, School. I had to work extra hard to prove that I deserved my success. Some classmates thought I only got good grades because my parents hired tutors. Others assumed I was spoiled and didn't have to work for anything. Their words hurt, but I didn't let them see that. Instead, I worked even harder. I wanted to show them that I wasn't just the rich kid. I wanted them to see me for who I really was, a person with dreams and struggles, just like everyone else. Struggles at home. At home, things weren't always easy either. My parents loved me, but they had high expectations. They wanted me to take over the family business someday, but I wasn't sure if that was what I wanted. I loved art and dreamed of becoming a painter, but when I shared this with my parents, they said, "That's just a hobby. You need to focus on something serious." Their words made me feel like my dreams didn't matter. Finding my own path. One day, I met an art teacher named Mrs. Clara. She encouraged me to follow my passion and reminded me that being true to myself was the most important thing. Your family's wealth is part of your life, she said, but it doesn't define who you are. Her words stayed with me. Slowly, I started to talk to my parents about how I felt. It wasn't easy, but over time, they began to understand. I showed them my paintings and explained why art was important to me. The lesson. Now, I'm learning to balance my responsibilities and my dreams. I still respect my family and the opportunities they've given me, but I'm also finding ways to be myself. Being born into a rich and important family isn't always as easy as it seems. There's pressure, judgment, and expectations. But I've learned that what matters most is being true to yourself. No matter where you come from, wealth and status might open doors, but it's your heart and passion that define who you really are. I'm learning that life is about balance, staying true to myself while also respecting where I come from. I know I can honor my family and the chances I've been given without losing who I really am. It's not always easy. Sometimes, I feel pulled between meeting others' expectations and following my own dreams. But I've realized that being myself doesn't mean ignoring my responsibilities. It means finding a way to do both. Growing up in a rich and respected family isn't always as simple as people think. There's pressure to be perfect and to never make mistakes. But I've learned something important. Being rich or having a big name doesn't define who you are. It's your choices, your kindness, and your hard work that truly matter. What's most important is being a good person and doing what makes you happy. It's not about how much you own, but how you use what you have to help others and to feel proud of yourself. This lesson has helped me stay grounded. I'm thankful for what I've been given, but I won't forget to be myself. At the end of the day, it's your heart and your actions that show the real you, not the money or the name you were born with. I'm so glad you spent this time with me. If you like the story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Take care, and see you next time.